I want us to explore together today some inspirational ideas on how to live our life, taken from a man who lived and spoke and taught in the 13th century. His name was Jalal Muhammad Rumi. He was a 13th century Persian poet. Most of all, he was a great spiritual teacher and a Sufi mystic. And what is amazing to me about the ideas of his that I want to share with you this morning is that he spoke these in the 13th century. And on one hand, there is absolutely no question that life looks really different today, externally, than it did in the 13th century. But what is also absolutely true is that inwardly, the things that human beings still struggle with, the things that human beings still long for, are much the same. And that's why someone who spoke in the 13th century and spoke from spiritual insight and mysticism still reaches across all those centuries to us today in Southern California in the year 2017. That is amazing to me, and that is a gift. So here's the first of 7 such wisdom teachings on how to live our life from Rumi. This first one is, the art of knowing is knowing what to ignore. Because what is getting our attention is getting us. Knowing what to ignore, knowing what to say yes to, knowing what to pay no attention to whatsoever. Years ago, there was a couple who were celebrating their 50th anniversary, and at their anniversary party, the wife was asked what was one of the secrets to them living happily together for 50 years. And she answered by saying, on the day that we were married, I made a list of 10 of your father's faults. And I decided that these would be 10 faults that I would choose to ignore. And so over the years, whenever he did one of those things, I would silently say to myself, thank God it's on the list. And then over the years, I forgot what was on the list. And I just learned to ignore a lot of the small stuff. So knowing what to ignore. Amen, yes. Second one from Rumi. Live life as if everything is rigged in your favor. Does it ever feel like that's not true? Yeah. But do you notice that even if it appears that it's not true, that it still serves you better to practice and to live life from that perspective than not? Because as soon as we make a conscious choice to live as if everything in life is rigged to our favor, we will live at a much higher vibrational level, a much higher level of consciousness than if we don't. You know, one of our basic teachings in Unity is the teaching that says everything ultimately works together for our highest good. Sometimes that ultimately takes a long time before we see it. But I know that you've had experiences in your life that were really hard that you went through. And that now, having gone through them, you can look back at them and you can see how you are a different person, a better person, a smarter person, a more loving, a more patient, a stronger, a more faith-filled person than you were when you had to first deal with whatever that was. I came across this statement as I was preparing this message, and I really liked it. It says, if something in your life is not yet okay, it simply means it is not yet over.
Thanks for listening. Sunday services at 9 and 11 a.m. Inclusivity. It's worth the drive. Subscribe to our podcasts and download our free app for instant access to a wealth of spiritual teachings, services, and events.